I'm Lisa from Down to Earth Gardening and Design. Welcome to today's video. It's spring and I'm doing a little bit of garden care out here in the garden, so I thought I'd bring you a video on my coral bells, how great they are, and just a little bit about how to prune them and clean them up in the spring to really make them shine and do their best. They're really showy plants. So I'm going to try to get right to it, but first I want to tell you a little bit about this garden and my coral bells here. I am on the northeast corner of my home. So this little garden here just gets a little bit of morning sun, and this side here where I have my beautiful coral bells gets a lot more shade. So just a little aside of what else I have in the garden here that does really well. I have some hostas that are just popping up. I have some endless summer blue hydrangeas, which I love, and some peonies, which I love. And then I have some Japanese sedge grass on the sunnier side of this little garden. So we use this door a lot. I really like to see something pretty here. And these coral bells shine all year long. So they give 4 seasons of interest, which is really important when we're looking for curb appeal. You may have seen the video on this particular coral bell in the winter video, and I'll try to show you a little clip, which is the perennials that I leave all winter. And this is really just showing how great they look when they've come through winter. It is mid-spring and they're still really colorful. They've been colorful all year long. They look great in the garden in the snow, and in the summer they throw up some flowers, and then the rest of the year you're really enjoying the foliage. So the coral bells do come in some different colors, some different foliage, variegated and whatnot, but this is my Mega Caramel, and it is a pretty giant coral bells. They also come in some different heights and sizes. But I'm going to show you now how I clean them up in the spring and prep them for the rest of the year. Okay, I just want to show you what this perennial looks like before I trim it up. So pretty great. And there have been times that I have gotten to it a little earlier, and there's been times I've gotten to it a little later. Right now, like I said, it's mid-spring, but that really doesn't seem to affect this hardy little plant. Okay, I'm trying to give you a better view so you can see what I'm doing here, but I want to point out that this is the new growth, so you can see the bright red foliage. And this here is last year's growth. So you can see how it's a little bit faded. And then also I did leave the spent blooms. These are the last year's flower stock. So we're going to be trimming those. So we'll be trimming these and last year's blooms to clean it up. So we're going to be trying to leave this year's growth. Now I also want to show you when they mature, they do bleach out a little bit, but it's kind of fun. They're more of a golden and burgundy, and the flip side of the leaves, if you turn them over, is more of a pink. So I just love that. It's kind of a dimensional look here, gives the garden a little more interest. Okay, so I just have my trug here. I have my little snips, and I also have my pruners. Now, because it's so thick, I may have to forfeit some of the new growth, but I'm going to try to work around it. So really, if you just start more towards the bottom of the plant, plants are very forgiving. So don't worry if you snip some of the new growth. This little perennial is a powerhouse, and it's going to keep pushing out some new foliage no matter what. So you can see that I'm taking the older foliage off the bottom of the plant. So I'm just going to work around the outer edge first. I'm finding all kinds of things in the garden today. It looks like we have a little irrigation repair coming our way. Okay, so now this gives us an opportunity to clean up any debris that's in and around our little plant. So next I will just snip out the spent flower stalks. So just snip those down as far as you can. And then I will start snipping some of the older foliage. And remember, you can tell the difference because it's a little faded here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to forfeit some new growth here, just so I can give you a close-up and you can see the difference between this year's and last year's growth. So this is the old last year's growth, and this here is the new growth. So you can see how we're shrinking this plant down, but it is going to explode with tons of new foliage, really bright and colorful, and then throw out some beautiful flowers in the summer. I love to use the flowers and even a little bit of the foliage in some little bouquets. I just want to show all of you at home how much I've taken off of this one little plant. And this is the finished product. Okay, so that's it for that task. It took me about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer because I was talking my way through it, but it's a really quick task and it's a great investment of time because, like I said, you're going to get spring, summer, fall, and winter interest out of this little powerhouse. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this tip helped you out and you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and tap like and subscribe to our channel because I have a lot more gardening tasks here and a lot more gardening coming your way.